Remember, the South African Institute of Black Property Professionals, or rather practitioners, was launched quite some time back in '96, and their objective, obviously, is to lead transformation in the South African property sector. They do facilitate economic participation and skills development for previously disadvantaged individuals. And once again, within this convention that they're going to be holding now in 2017, from the 2nd to the 3rd of August, they aim to fulfill their mandate as it's expected, as usual, with a good lineup of speakers that are going to be present. We do have the Vice President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, who's going to have the keynote speak on that day. And Nkosinathi Nhleko, the Minister of Public Works, Department of Public Works, that's also going to be there. Parks Tau, President of SALGA, that's also going to be there. Professor Verily, and a number of others that will be there to have a discussion. And their theme, as they've noted, it will be possibilities. It will be talking about the possibilities. Now, possibilities, Ms. Butchukwane, are only as real as we are, facing the realities of what it is that's happening in this industry. And one big question, I cannot let you go without having to ask where our progress is as far as transformation is concerned. It's one thing that we are gathered as Black professionals, practitioners, as the industry, to talk about a number of things. But are we making headway as far as transformation is concerned?
Look, the recent State of Transformation report was recently published, and unfortunately, the results are not as great as they could be 23 years down the line. We are still lagging far behind in terms of sort of equitable representation in this industry. In terms of the listed sector, you've still got less than 10% of listed property companies, REITs and such that are Black-originated funds. The residential sector, there's also very skewed patterns in that regard. But I think that is even more why this conference and the conversations that are going to be had in this conference are that much more important. There's a sense of urgency about it, and I think we need to stop and say, what have we done that has worked and what hasn't worked? And in areas where we've had some successes, because there have been, some successes here and there, pockets of success, how do we amplify that? How do we create an enabling environment for new entrants? Because it's not just about transforming the existing companies that exist, it's also about saying, how do we create an enabling environment and create awareness for new Black companies to be able to come into the industry and thrive when they're in the industry. So that's really what we're talking about when we talk about possibilities, to say we need to start thinking differently. We need to start coming up with new ideas. Let us open our minds a bit. We are 23 years in. We're still sitting at less than 10% of the industry being Black-owned. How do we move forward from that? And what are the key sort of enabling things that we need to implement to see that happen? And as I said, the lineup is such a reflection of that, because cities and local municipalities are also definitely at the heart of that transformation. So it's going to be very interesting to hear the kind of discussions that come out of that panel discussion, to understand the role that local municipalities have in not just transforming businesses, but also in spatial transformation. Have we done enough as developers and as practitioners in the industry to create a new economic reality, in our country? Have we done enough of that? And what do we need to do to start thinking differently? What are the possibilities that could be unlocked if we as developers apply our minds and start thinking differently? So we're hoping, I think that the lineup is very exciting, and it's not just about this event. It's really about starting these discussions and then being able to follow through on implementable programs in the next 12 to 18 months.
Remember, SABC is a member-based professional organization. Membership is open to all professionals within the property industry, corporates, public sector departments, and employees, entrepreneurs, as well as the students. They're based in Johannesburg in South Africa. And if you're looking for information related to their membership, you can go to www.saibpp.co.za. I'm going to say it again. It's www.saibpp.co.za. And it's important, we saw for the listeners to actually know a little bit more detail about the venue, how to get there, and the logistics, just before we let you go.
Absolutely. As I said, it's a 2-day program. The first day is a site tour, which will be commencing at the Radisson Hotel by the Gautrain station, so the Radisson Gautrain. And then the second day, which is the 3rd of August, which is the plenary session, takes place at the Houghton Golf Club, which is on Osborne Road in Houghton. But truly, all the information can be found on the registration website, saibppconvention.co.za. You can take a look at the program in more detail. You can register from there, and all the maps and the information is readily available on the site.
Is anybody able to just come through and attend, member or non-member? Am I correct?
Yeah, no, that's correct. We are a member-based organization, so our members do receive preferential pricing for the tickets, but it is open to the public. Anyone who is interested or has an interest in the sector is welcome to attend. And they may register on the site.
Great. It's Vuisomo Chekwane, CEO of South African Institute for Black Property Practitioners, and she was just reminding us and talking to us about the SABC Convention 2017, which is starting from the 2nd of August until the 3rd of August, which is a good 2 days of a good discussion and points that are going to be raised by their speakers, Nkosinathi Nhleko, the Minister of Public Works, the Vice President Cyril Ramaphosa, who's also going to be their keynote speaker. Pax Tau, as one of their speakers, is the president of SALGA. We have quite a number of others that have been mentioned. Please do go through and have a look at their website so that you can be informed. Vuiso, I cannot thank you enough for the time that you've allowed.
Thank you, and I hope to see you there.
Absolutely. That's Vuiso Chekwane, CEO of SABC, that has been talking to us about their SABC Convention 2017. We're going to take another last break. We'll be back shortly. If you've just joined us, you're listening to our program called All Things Property and Real Estate Matters. You are tuned into Channel Africa, the voice of the African Renaissance, on shortwave 9625 kilohertz on 31 meter band. Live internet streaming, our address is www.channelafrica.org, or you can find us on Past 10 satellite.
Hello and welcome to Channel Africa, the African Perspective. We broadcast from Johannesburg in South Africa, and our main aim is to provide you with news, views, knowledge and entertainment from Africa to Africans and listeners from around the world.
Reporting for Channel Africa in Harare, Zimbabwe, this is Simon Muchemwa.
Reporting for Channel Africa, I am Diana Wanyonyi in Mombasa.
For Channel Africa